What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Jay Reed for Jay Reed's Love of Cars. So in today's video, if you are wondering what performance mods should you do first, you may want to stick around because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I see a lot on the Facebook groups and all that stuff. People are always asking what performance mods should they do first to their Corvette. It's usually a C6 because I'm a part of the C6 group. And you'll see a lot of people asking about an intake. The hell was that? So let's just dive right into that. The intake is not the first thing you should do. Now, I think a lot of people want to do that mod first, because I know I did too, because it's one of the least expensive mods to do. So they think, you know, they read groups and whatever. They think they can buy $300 Veram or Haltech intake and get all of this horsepower. It's not, it doesn't work like that. And then, or they'll say, okay, I'll get an intake and then get my car tuned. Well, you're wasting money. Tunes are like $500, $600. Why would you want to do that just for an intake? Now, granted, that's one of the least expensive performance mods that you can do. And I know when you first get your C6, you're just dying to do something, but hold on, do not get that one first. So the first mod that I think you should do is get headers. If you have a C6 Grand Sports or a Z06 with the NNP or MPP exhaust or whatever, you know, with the open and close valve, then get you some headers. Number one, you're gonna gain about 35 to 45 horsepower, depending on if you have 25 to 35 horsepower. Probably about 35. I think I gained about 35. And that's going to depend on whether you have an automatic or a stick shift, because you got more drivetrain loss with an automatic. So the first thing you want to do is get headers and a tune. That particular mod is just gonna change your life. There's nothing like the sound of a C6 Corvette with headers on it. You get the performance and you get the sound all rolled up in one package. The price of that will probably run you about, depending on what headers you get, about $2,000, and that includes the installation if you're not doing it yourself, as well as the headers, as well as the tune. So if you're looking for a performance mod, the most bang for your buck initially, go ahead, hold out, save your money, wait till that stimmy comes in, or wait till that you get your taxes or whatever, tax refund, and hold out for some headers. That will be the most important mod that you could initially do with your C6 Corvette. Because number one, it's the foundation. So not only will it change the sound of your car, make it louder, make it growl, make it sound more aggressive, give you horsepower, is also a foundation mod, and that's really what you want to do first. Get your foundation mods in. That's what I suggest that you do first, is get headers. Hold out and get headers. Next, or second, well, we'll make this second. The second thing you want to do is probably get you an exhaust. If you do not have the exhaust with the open valves where you can change it to quiet mode, to loud mode, I forget what it's called. If you don't have that, like I didn't have it, you're gonna want to axle back or straight pipe that bitch. Either way, you got headers, but I will tell you, straight pipe it, maybe a couple $100, and it'll sound just as good or almost just as good as a $1,500 axle back. Because axle backs really don't give you no power. A lot of people want to get those first, but you're not gonna get no power from it. You're just gonna change the exhaust tone. So if you want to go a cheap route, straight pipe it. Come from the header shop, go to the muffler shop, cut the mufflers off. But be prepared, your car is going to be super loud. So if you're not into that, you may not want to do it because it's going to be super loud. The headers are already going to make it loud. That's going to make it even more loud. So word of caution. And then you're going to have drone. What drone is, it's that sound when you're in your car and you can't hear yourself think. The radio, forget it. Turn it off, take it out. put you as faceplate. You won't use it. You won't be able to listen to it. And really, you won't want to listen to it anyway. I never listen to my radio. I listen to my motor. Now, let's say you want to get an exhaust. You don't want a straight pipe. You want to quiet down a little bit. The most important thing when it comes to selecting an exhaust is how much drone does it have. Because if you have a family, if you have a wife, if this is the going out car, if your wife drives it sometime, it's going to irritate the hell out of her because she ain't going to be able to think because of all the drone. So I have a Corsa Extreme on mine. It's the loudest you can get from Corsa. And the drone stop is in between 900 and probably $1,000. I forget. I've had mine for a while. Then after that, it's smooth sailing, no drone. So if I want to hear the drone, I just cruise at around 900 RPMs. If I don't want to hear it, I just speed up or slow down. It's simple as that. If you're looking for an exhaust, I mean, I don't have any experience with the rest of them, but I can tell you from what I do have, which is the Corsa Extreme, that is the way to go. And I am no way affiliated with them bitches. I'm just telling you like it is what it is. I paid full price. And you're gonna pay about $1,500 for it. So it's not cheap, but you know, if you like the headers, ride with the headers for a couple of weeks. And if you like that, then go ahead and straight pipe it, save you some money. And the good thing about straight piping it is, if you don't like it, go and get an exhaust put on. Do what you wanted to do in the first place. You're only out about $200. So, you know, there's that. Now the fourth thing that I think you want to do, and this is going to be the fourth and the fifth thing, and I'm speaking from experience, and I'm glad I did it this way. Somebody else may say something different. Let me know in the comments what you think about this list. Putting them together because you can get them done together is cam your car. Now if you have an automatic, you probably won't be able to put nothing no more than like a stage 2, which is good for probably about 35, another 40 horsepower. So now you almost added 100 horsepower to your car with 2 mods. So that's really, really good. Now, you remember in the beginning, we were talking about that intake, that cold air intake. Now you want to get that. Here's why. You go to a shop, you get their cam package. You know, they put the cam, springs, all that good stuff on it. Well, they got to take your intake off anyway. So then you just tell them, hey, can you put this intake on instead of the factory one, and put my factory one in the trunk. So now the shop will install your intake for free because you had a package deal, and they got to take it off, take the other one off, and they're going to put this one on anyway. Now if you have something like a Veram or something where you got to be cutting up shit, you know, they may charge you a little extra. But if you have like shit, I don't even remember the one that I have, but mine, it just required screwing like a couple additional mounts in it. They didn't charge me a thing for it, they just put it on. So in that situation, that's when you want the intake. Number one, because when you put that cam in, you're gonna get it tuned. So now you're getting it tuned with your cold air intake at the same time as your cam, and you're getting the cold air intake for free. And so, I mean, it's a win-win. Now, you could also, if you start, the reason why I didn't say do that with the headers, because they're not taking that intake off to put the headers on, so they're gonna charge you for it. But they gotta take the intake off to put the cam in. So you may as well just say, hey, put this one on, throw my old one in the trunk. So that's the fourth mod that I would do for performance. Now you're out of about $5,000 to $6,000. Now most people would say you should just put a supercharger on it and got 200 horsepower. True, that's another route you can take. If you want to avoid all of that, then just get you a supercharger, 6, 7, 8 grand, you know, including installation. Put that on there and you'll have all the power in the world, but it's gonna sound stock. And you're only gonna use that power maybe 10% of the time. You can have all the power in that you will ever use, and you may even use it maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe once a week for 10 seconds, who knows? It won't be that much, and your car gonna sound stock. Now, if you're trying to build a sleeper, fine, do that. But if you take the route that I just said, every time you fire that bitch up, it's gonna put a smile on your face. You will enjoy that every single time you get in the car. It's as simple as that. And you're gonna have almost 100 horsepower, possibly 100, depending on the Corvette that you have. Now, if you do these mods to a Z06, you got a 600 horsepower car. Crazy just for an NA car. For a Grand Sport, My car is 455 horsepower with 424 foot-pounds of torque. I have an automatic C6. If I had a manual, that would probably be around 465, 470. I know somebody would say, "Oh, mine did 500." Well, yeah, that's because your tuner was giving you a hand job at the same time. But I digress. If you're looking to mod your C6 Corvette, that is the order that I would do it in. Skip the intake first. I know you want to because it's a $300 mod and you're anxious to do something to your car. Don't do it. Just save your money. Or if you get it, just get it, put it to the side. Or if you can do the installation yourself, just get it and put it on. But you're gonna put it on and it's just gonna be like you never had it. You may hear the sound change a little bit. You may probably just be hearing things because you want to hear things. And you're gonna be like, I wasted this money. I look at cold air intakes as something you do to finish off the NA bill. You know, if you're not getting heads. That leads me to my next point. Some of you may be saying, okay, why don't you get some, you didn't say nothing about heads. Now at this point, you spend a lot of money. You're gonna spend another $2,500, $3,000 on heads and including the installation for maybe 25, 30 horsepower. To me, the dollar per horsepower is not worth it. Save that money on your supercharger now. Now you can get your supercharger. Heads, or for less than that, if you want the power, get your nitrous set up. And that's actually probably what I would be doing next to my car, is getting a nitrous setup. Because, I could get a supercharger, but like I said earlier, the amount of time I would actually use that supercharger power, I don't street race or nothing like that, it's very limited. But when I do use the power, I can just turn on the nitrous and I got it. Simple as that. Yes, you have to refill bottles, but like I said, my Fox body got nitrous on it. When I go to the track, I pretty much got to refill it before I go to the track again. But that is what it is. If I had a supercharger, then I wouldn't have to do none of that. So you may not want to go with nitrous if you're a track guy or if you race every weekend, because it's going to add up eventually. But if you want a quick, easy power, you know what you're doing with it, got all the necessary accessories, go for it. So anyway, those are the mods that I would do first. I hope you can get something out of this video. If there's anything that you should remember is, guys, if you're looking to get that intake and expecting Jesus to come down from the sky once you put it on, it's not gonna happen. Save your money for a mod that you can enjoy every time you get in the car. This your boy Jay Reed for Jay Reed's Love of Cars. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace.